Hello everyone. Welcome to all of you in FFB Live Chemistry class. Environmental chemistry में एयर पॉल्यूशन की कंप्लीट स्टडी पिछले वीडियोस में हो चुकी है। इसके बाद अब आज हम और दूसरे पॉल्यूशन जैसे कि वाटर पॉल्यूशन, सॉइल पॉल्यूशन, इस पे आज की क्लास में हम डिस्कस करेंगे। तो चैप्टर तुम लोगों का चल रहा है एनवायरमेंटल केमिस्ट्री, और इन्वायरमेंटल केमिस्ट्री में करीब पिछले क्लास में हमने ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट, ओजोन लेयर डिप्लेशन, ग्रीन केमिस्ट्री, उसके अलावा ग्लोबल वार्मिंग, इन सब टॉपिक पे डिटेल में डिस्कस किया था। उम्मीद है वो सारे टॉपिक समझ में आए होंगे। आज हम इन्वायरमेंटल केमिस्ट्री में ही, जैसा कि पॉल्यूशन मेन टॉपिक चल रहा है, तो एयर पॉल्यूशन की कंप्लीट स्टडी हो चुकी है। आज हम दूसरे पॉल्यूशन जैसे कि वाटर पॉल्यूशन है, सॉइल पॉल्यूशन है, उसके अलावा भी आगे के क्लास में हम रेडियो एक्टिव पॉल्यूशन, नॉइज पॉल्यूशन, इन सब पे भी डिस्कस करेंगे। तो आज की शुरुआत करते हैं इन्वायरमेंटल पॉल्यूशन एंड इन्वायरमेंटल पॉल्यूटेंट्स, जिसके बारे में कई बार डिटेल में बातें हो चुकी हैं। थोड़ा सा फिर से देख लेते हैं। द टर्म इन्वायरमेंट एज फार एज पॉल्यूशन इज कंसर्न्ड इंक्लूड द एयर, द वाटर एंड द लैंड. The pollution of our environment is one of the biggest hazards that humanity faces today. Now, pollution is a gift of industrial civilization. Progress in agriculture and industry have resulted in unlimited exploitation of every bite of natural source. Such activities of man have adverse effect on all forms of living organism in the biosphere. The unfavorable conditions created by man himself has threatened the survival not only of man himself but also of other living organisms. For the smooth growth and development of all living organisms, a balanced or neutral environment is required, which has been provided by nature. A balanced environment, the various components are in balanced environment, the various components are present in a definite ratio and proportions. When the ratio of one or more components of the balanced environment is disturbed by natural happenings or human activities, it is said that environmental has been polluted. Pollution thus means the presence of anything in environment in excess of required amount, and anything put into the environment which was not there is in natural state. Pollution, direct or indirect changes in one or more component of the ecosystem which are harmful to living organisms. Intentional or unintentional release of any chemical or geochemical substance in the environment with adverse, harmful, or unpleasant effect. Today, everything is polluted. The air we breathe is polluted by automobile exhaust, industries, thermal power plant, etc. The fruit and vegetables are polluted due to the use of pesticides and insecticides, and water in lakes and rivers has been polluted by waste from chemical and other factories, by sewage due to uncontrolled population and use of plastic materials. Although pollution is as old as man himself, but his awareness about it is only very recent. Concern over the state of environment has grown over since the 60s. The catastrophic events like the Bhopal gas tragedy, the Chernobyl nuclear reactor breakdown, etc., have given as warning about the dangers of pollution. It is thus the duty of every citizen, every nation, and every government to take concrete steps to minimize the control of population. Uh, After the discussion of air pollution, we discuss on the water pollution. Water is an important constituent of life support system. Water is the most important natural resource. 71% of the earth area is occupied by water. However, hardly 2.5% make up the total world supply of fresh water, including the frozen water in the polar ice caps and glaciers. Water is needed for irrigation, industry, domestic needs, shipping, and for sanitation and disposal of waste. The conservation and keeping up a good supply of water is the very essential. Man has, however, polluted much of his limited supply of water by industrial waste, sewage, number of synthetic chemicals. Many rivers of the world receive heavy flux of sewage, domestic waste, industrial effluent, agricultural waste, etc., which contains substances varying from simple nutrients to highly toxic materials. In our country, all the major rivers have been polluted. These have actually become an unending sewer fit only to carry urban liquid waste here. Half burned dead bodies, pesticides, and other waste. Many of our lakes have become dark with foul smell. Moreover, the rainfall on this way down to earth brings down the air pollution. Polluted water is the water which has more negative qualities than it has positive ones. That is, it is no longer fit for use. Now we can say that water pollution is the presence of any foreign substance, that is organic, inorganic, radioactive, or biological in water, which tends to degrade the quality so as to constitute a hazard or impair the usefulness of water. The common water pollutants are oxygen demanding waste, disease causing agents, synthetic organic compounds, plant nutrients, inorganic chemicals, suspended solids, radioactive substances, thermal discharge, and oil. Now we can discuss one by one. Oxygen demanding waste, first types of water pollutant. Dissolved oxygen, that is DO, is essential for sustaining animal and plant life in any aquatic system. If the DO, that is dissolved oxygen, if the dissolved oxygen level in water decrease, the aquatic organism may not survive. The waste such as domestic, industrial, and biodegradable organic compounds are oxygen demanding waste. These are decomposed by the bacterial population, which in turn decrease the oxygen from water. Now, BOD, biochemical oxygen demand, is a measure of the oxygen utilized by the microorganism during oxidation of organic material. It is the most widely used measure for assessing the water pollution potential of a given organic waste. BOD, that is biochemical oxygen demand, is directly proportional to the amount of organic waste which is to be broken down. The determination of BOD of a sample of water requires 20 to 30 days for the complete decomposition of organic waste present in the sample. This is too long time for obtaining data. Therefore, the time has been fixed as 5 days, that is BOD. BOD is the amount of oxygen consumed in 5 days. The measurement is done at 20 degrees centigrade. The sample of water is saturated with oxygen. It is then incubated for 5 days at 20 degrees centigrade. Microorganisms utilize oxygen to oxidize the waste during this period. The remaining oxygen is measured and subtracted from the amount of oxygen originally present to get the BOD, that is biological oxygen demand value. It is expressed in ppm. BOD is real measure of water quality. Clean water has a BOD value of less than 5 ppm. The polluted water could have BOD value of 17 ppm or more. The untreated municipal sewage has BOD value of 100 to 400 pm, ppm. Now chemical oxygen demand, that is COD. वो क्या था? Biological oxygen demand, and this is the chemical oxygen demand. In short, it is known as COD. ऑक्सीजन डिमांडिंग वेस्ट, यहाँ पे इसको हम बाद में डिस्कस करते हैं. पहले केमिकल ऑक्सीजन डिमांड. It is the another important water quality parameter. It is an index of the waste, that is organic and inorganic, of water, which can be oxidized by strong oxidizing agent, usually acidified potassium dichromate. This reagent oxidizes most of the substance present in water, including those which are not oxidized by microorganisms. The water sample is treated with a known amount of potassium dichromate solution. The unreacted potassium dichromate is determined by back titration with a suitable reducing agent like Mohr salts. From the amount of potassium dichromate consumed, the amount of oxygen utilized in the oxidation of water sample can be calculated with the help of following रिएक्शन. यहाँ पे रिएक्शन दोनों के बीच जो प्रेजेंट होते हैं, एसिडिफाइड पोटेशियम डाइक्रोमेट आपस में रिएक्शन करके क्रोमियम सल्फेट बनाता है या क्रोमिक सल्फेट, एंड नेसेंट ऑक्सीजन इज प्रोड्यूस. Now COD is also expressed in ppm. COD value do not necessarily match the BOD value. Textile waste, paper mill waste, etc. with high cellulose content have BOD value considerably higher than COD. COD values considerably higher than BOD values, as cellulose is not readily attacked by dissolved oxygen. Now come here. This is the table, includes some important points. That is sources of water pollution. Oxygen demanding waste कौन कौन से हैं? Biodegradable organic compounds, that is sewage, waste from food processing plants, paper mills, and tanneries. And second, plant nutrients, nitrates and phosphates from detergents, fertilizers, and sewage treatment plant. The third source is sediments, enriched soil water due to soil erosion. And another source of water pollution is thermal discharge, heated water from power plant. And disease causing agents like bacteria and viruses from sewage, that is food poisoning and hepatitis is done. Now synthetic organic compounds, that is pesticide, industrial chemicals, etc. and radioactive substances are from nuclear power plant medical and research facilities and nuclear weapons testing. Now this is the diagram and diagrammatic representation. पूरा शॉर्ट करके इसको दिखाया जा सकता है किस तरह से। ये ड्रेन, एसिड ड्रेन का ये है जिसके बारे में पूरा डिटेल स्टडी किया है कि किस तरह से एसिड आ जाता है रेन में, वाटर में, और वो फिर सरफेस ऑफ द अर्थ आता है। और ये सारी चीज़ें कहाँ से, इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट, एसिड ट्रेन आ रहा है, उसके अलावा इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट, फर्टिलाइजर रॉट ऑफ है, क्रॉप डस्टलिंग है, सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट पॉइंट और न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर, ऑयल पोल्यूशन, सोर्सेज ऑफ वाटर पोल्यूशन को इस तरह से ये डायग्राम में दिखाया गया है। तो ये एसिड ड्रेन से लेके ये सारी चीज़ें, ये क्या है, वाटर पॉल्यूटेंट, सोर्सेज ऑफ वाटर पॉल्यूटेंट्स है। बाकी चीज़ें हम पिछले उसमें बता चुके हैं, पिछले चार्ट में, कि इसमें वही चीज़ है जो साफ नहीं है। उसके बाद सेकंड पॉइंट पे हम आते हैं, कॉज ऑफ वाटर पॉल्यूशन में सेकंड है डिजीज कॉजिंग एजेंट। These are the various pathogenic microorganisms which may either the water along with sewage or other waste. These micro, mainly bacteria and viruses, can cause various diseases such as cholera, typhoid, dysentery, gastroenteritis, polio, hepatitis, etc. Now, third water pollutants are synthetic organic compounds. These include pesticides, detergents, and other industrial chemicals. These chemicals, when present in water, can act as toxic poisons for plants, animals, and humans. These chemicals enter the hydrosphere either by losses during their transport and usage or by accidental or intentional disposal of waste from manufacturing units. Now, polychlorinated biphenyl, so that is PCBs, having high stabilities, are relatively new additions of the list of pollutants of water. They are used as fluids in transformers and capacitors. The presence of these PCP, that is polychlorinated biphenyls, in water causes skin disorder in humans. These act as carcinogenic. And other pollutants are plant nutrients, nitrogen and phosphorus fertilizers, which are drained from agricultural lands or from other source into water bodies, may stimulate the growth of algae and aquatic weeds. The excessive growth of algae and aquatic plants due to added nutrient is called eutrophication. Eutrophication, the anaerobic condition created by the rotting algae, can present a health hazard for bird, fish, and other aquatic species. During the decomposition of aquatic plants by microorganisms, the amount of dissolved oxygen decreases, which prove fatal for aquatic species. Now, inorganic chemicals and minerals. These includes various metals and metallic compounds released from human activities or from natural minerals. These pollutants enter the water bodies from municipal and industrial waste waters and mine runoff. The acid rain consisting of sulfate and nitrate ions take the water acidic. Most of these inorganic compounds, particularly of heavy metals, are toxic and capable of killing living organisms in water bodies. Most of these substances produce physiological poisoning by becoming attached to the tissue of aquatic organism and accumulate. The metals of concern are cadmium, chromium, lead, mercury, and silver. Alkalis discharged by industries such as textile, tanneries, paper, etc., can also destroy aquatic life. The main constituents of mine drainage are sulfuric acid and iron compound. These cause corrosion of metals and concrete and are fatal to fish. Recently, the level of fluorides in the drinking water has considerably increased in different parts of India, causing fluorides as incurable bone disease. Now, suspended solids. Suspended solids in water are mainly of sand, silt, and minerals eroded from the land. Solid particles settle in reservoirs and dams that thus reduce their water storage capacity. The suspended particles in water bodies also block the sunlight required for the photosynthesis by bottom vegetation and thus reduce the availability of food to fish. Now, radioactive substance. The refining of uranium ore is an important source of radioactive waste, producing a radioactive material containing radium, bismuth, etc., which are in hazard in drinking water. Certain marine organisms have the capacity for accumulating nuclides from water. These may cause radioactivity in living organisms. Radioactive substances can enter humans through food and water. These may get accumulated in blood and certain vital organs such as liver, thyroid gland, bone, and muscular tissue. Now, each pollutant source of pollution is thermal discharge. The power plant and industries use large quantities of water for cooling purpose. Used water is usually discharged directly into water bodies. The temperature of water bodies thus increase. This brings down the DO, demand oxygen level, which is harmful for microorganisms. An increase in temperature also increase the toxicity of some chemical pollutants. Poisons are more toxic in summer month. Now, oil waste enter rivers and other water bodies from several sources like oil refineries, storage tanks, automobile waste oil, petrochemical plant, and industrial effluents. Normal tankers operations and spillage from oil tankers accidents cause marine pollution and shore contamination. Since oil is insoluble in water, it floats and spreads rapidly into thin layer. See, the oil layer is responsible for the death of birds. The oil penetrates the bird's feathers terribly, affecting their insulation and buoyancy. The birds experience difficulty in floating and flying. The oil layer on the surface of water reduces DO level in water as oxygen transfer from atmosphere is prevented. Oil may be driven to shores through wind and tides where it is accumulated and possess aesthetic problem. Now these are the major source of water pollution. Now control of water pollution. The first point for the control, septic tank should be used for each house. This will reduce the flow of municipal sewage and human excreta towards river, lake, or pool. Second, second method, rivers, lakes, etc. should not be used for bathing and washing purpose. In this way, water sources are not polluted with detergents and germs. Too much use of pesticides which are not degradable should be avoided. These are highly toxic substances. The fourth point or method, efforts should be made to increase the use of low grade or polluted water. Treatment of domestic sewage for industrial cooling is a good example of efficient use. Water reuse has a special significance in mining and similar industries where the water availability is less. These efforts will save fresh water from being polluted. Now, wastewater treatment techniques should be applied before the polluted water enters a river, lake, or pool. Available wastewater treatment processes can be physical, chemical, or biological. Physical process comprise screening, sedimentation, flotation, and filtration. Commonly used chemical processes are precipitation, coagulation, and disinfection, while biological processes are biological filtration and the activated slug process. In a particular case, the process such as carbon adsorption, oxidation, and reduction, ion exchange, reverse osmosis, electrolysis, etc., are also used. Now, water quality parameter, that is international standard for the drinking water. The quality of water is a vital concern of mankind as impure water can cause serious disease. The following parameters must be followed before water is supplied for drinking purpose. First, it should be colorless and free from any odor or smell. Second, it should be clear and free from suspended particles. And turbidity, the turbidity should be less than 10 ppm. It should not be too acidic or too alkaline. The pH should between 5.5. pH should lie between 5.5 to 9.5. It should be decent in taste. It have it can have some harmful salt for giving good taste. The total dissolved salt should not be more than 500 ppm. It should be free from microorganisms causing disease. It should be free from harmful chemicals and should be reasonable soft. It should have dissolved oxygen 5 to 6 ppm. It should have specific conductance of 300 ohm mho cm minus 1. Some international standards have been laid down for the drinking water. The chemicals that are allowed to be present and their tolerable limit permitted and some other conditions which must be satisfied for drinking water are discussed here. First, fluoride. Water should be tested for fluoride's ion concentration. Its deficiency is harmful as it causes to decay. Soluble fluoride is usually added to drinking water as to make its concentration up to 1 ppm or 1 milligram decimeter minus 3. The fluoride ions make the enamel on the teeth much harder by changing hydroxyapatite, that is फार्मूला इसका सामने है, this 3Ca3PO4 whole twice CaOH whole twice into fluoroapatite. This changes into this Ca3PO4 whole twice Ca2, which is much harder. However, brown mottling of teeth occurs if fluoride ion concentration exceeds 2 ppm. Higher concentration, about 10 ppm of fluorides ion are dangerous and cause harmful effect to teeth and bones. Now, second important metal in the metal ion in the water is lead. Lead pipes are used for water important if the water is comparatively acid. Lead salts come into water and get contaminated. The limit for the contamination of lead ion in drinking water is 50 ppm. Lead salts are slow poisons. They can damage liver, kidney, and reproductive system, etc. Now, third is sulfate. A moderate concentration of sulfate ions are harmless, but excessive sulfate, more than 500 ppm in drinking water, cause laxative effect and hypertension. Nitrates, the maximum limit of nitrate in drinking water is 50 ppm. Excessive concentration is harmful and can cause methemoglobinemia, that is blue baby syndrome. Now, other metals, the recommended level of some water metals in drinking water according to international standards are given in this table. Recommended limits for certain substance in drinking water. कंटामिनेंट्स है और परमिसिबल लिमिट इन पीपीएम यहाँ दी है. क्लोराइड होनी चाहिए 600 ppm, साइनाइड 0.001 ppm, फ्लोराइड 1 to 1.5 pm, nitrate and nitrite 50 ppm, phosphate 0.1, sulfate less than 500 ppm, arsenic 0.05 ppm, chromium 0.05 ppm and copper 3, कैल्शियम 1 सारे ppm में है. मैग्नीशियम आयन 30 ppm होना चाहिए. बेरियम 1, फेरिक आयन 0.2, लेड 0.05, जिंक आयन 5, कैडमियम 0.05, एल्युमिनियम 0.2, मैग्नीज 0.05 एंड मरकरी 0.001. पेस्टिसाइड्स थोड़ा बहुत चलेगा 0.005 तक, हालांकि ये नहीं होना चाहिए. उसके बाद है ये तुम्हारा वाटर पॉल्यूशन और उसका कंट्रोल और ड्रिंकिंग वाटर का क्या पैरामीटर्स होना चाहिए, इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में डिस्कस था. इसके बाद हम अगला पॉल्यूशन इंपॉर्टेंट जो तुम्हारे कोर्स में रखा गया है वो है सॉइल पॉल्यूशन. Soil or land pollution. The soil or the earth has been recognized as the mother of all plants, animals, and human beings. It is very essential either directly or indirectly for the survival and maintenance of various biological species, including man. It is produce food as it produces food for all. The word soil is derived from a Latin word solum, meaning early materials. The word soil is derived from a Latin word solum, meaning earthy materials in which plants grow. It is defined as withered layer of the earth crust which living organism and their products of decay. The chief component of the soil are inorganic matter, this is 90 to 95%, and organic matter 5 to 10%. Besides, soil contains water and air. The composition of soil varies considerably from place to place. Now, soil has become the dumping ground of most of waste product, that is domestic, human, animal, industrial, and agriculture. Every year, the solid waste dumped into the soil are increasing at an alarming rate all over the world. Different kinds of poisonous materials are being used these days, and the earth is increasingly being poisoned and polluted as a consequence. The problem of soil pollution has aggravated by the use of agrochemicals such as pesticides, fungicides, insecticides, fertilizers, manners. Besides these, the soil is polluted by deadly pathogenic organisms. Soil pollution is different from air and water pollution in the following respects. First, soil pollutants do not get dispersed unlike air and water pollutants. The pollution is localized unlike air and water pollution. The second difference is the pollutants remain at a particular place for relatively longer period. Now, sources of soil pollutions. The main sources of soil pollutions are industrial waste, urban and domestic waste, agrochemicals, soil erosions, radioactive pollutants, and acid rains. तो बड़ा नहीं चल पाएगा. Now, industrial waste, first pollutant of soil. Industrial waste were the major cause of soil or land pollution. These wastes are mostly toxic due to presence of cyanides, chromates, acids, alkalis, metals like nickel, cadmium, mercury, lead, etc. It is estimated about 50% of the raw material used by the new industries become waste products which are either thrown into water or dumped into the soil. The waste are discharged from the textile industry, paper and pulp industry, chemical and drugs industry, soap and detergent industry, food processing industry, metal processing industries, glass, cement and engineering industries. The industrial waste contain huge amount of materials which are non-biodegradable and a serious posing a serious threat to humanity. Now, second pollutants are urban and domestic waste. The urban and domestic waste combined are referred as refuse. These comprise of garbage and waste materials like plastics, glass, metallic containers, fibers, papers, and number of discarded products. The urban and domestic waste are more harmful since most of the these cannot be degraded easily. The waste emit poisonous gas, toxic hydrocarbons, and pathogenic microbes which cause disease. The third is agrochemicals. The agrochemicals such as fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, fungicides, herbicides are commonly used these days for agricultural crops. However, these find their way into food chain to be consumed by animals and humans and cause a number of health hazards. These are these first we discuss on fertilizer. With the increase of population, there is an increasing demand of food. In-house food production, large quantities of fertilizer are being used. No doubt, fertilizers certainly increase agricultural yield, but their extensive use has adverse effect. Some adverse effect of fertilizers are change in mobility, status of nutrients in soil, stimulation of growth in crops, fields, and disturbance in ionic balance, leading to high acidity, shortage of certain trace elements, etc. Excessive use of fertilizer result in the excessive growth of weeds and herbs. Due to excessive amount of nitrogen fertilizers, the concentration of nitrate ion increase in vegetables. Consumption of these vegetables result in bioaccumulation of nitrates in bodies. Nitrates may itself is not harmful, but in human body it is reduced to nitrite, which is responsible for occurrence of cancer. Now, pesticides. These are the chemicals which are used to save plant from pests, rats, and parasitic fungi. Paras- Pesticides include insecticides, fungicides, and herbicides. These substances cause soil pollution and adversely affect the health of animals and human beings. According to survey made by WHO, more than 50,000 people in developing countries are affected and poisoned annually, and about 5,000 die as a result of the effect of toxic agent used in agriculture. Sample of fruits, vegetables, milk, and eggs from various parts of India showed that they contain pesticide residue much higher than human tolerance limit. Pesticides not only bring toxic effect of animals and human beings, but also alter the fertility and decrease the soil respiration, that is root respiration and microbial respiration. Soil moisture has also been significantly reduced by pesticide application. Now, insecticides. These are the chemicals used to kill insects which damage the crops. After World War II, DDT was used in agriculture to control the damage caused by insect, rodents, weeds, and various crop disease. Other common example of insecticides are BHC, that is benzene hexachloride, eldrine, dieldrine, etc. These insecticides are persistent in the environment and show biological activity for long period of time. However, these insecticides not only kill unwanted insect but also target organisms which are helpful to crop. These insecticides keep on accumulating in the environment or cause pollution as being non-biodegradable. Their repeated use produce resistance in the pest. They are harmful to human beings and have been phased out. Consequently, a few series of insecticides, namely organophosphate, carbamates, pyrethroids, have been introduced. Organophosphates and carbamates are biodegradable, but these are nerve toxic and are harmful to human and have caused even death. Pyrethroids are neither persistent nor toxic through costly. It is not possible to ban the use of insecticide, but the best option is to search for the alternative insecticide which will kill pests but are friendly to environment. Now, other pollutant is essential pollutant, essential भी होता है pollutant भी है, वो है फंजीसाइड, जैसे इंसेक्टिसाइड, हर्बिसाइड, सारी चीजें पड़ी. Fungicides are the chemicals which inhibit or prevent fungal growth or fungal disease in plant or their seeds. Organomercury compounds are the most common fungicides. However, mercurial fungicides are responsible for human poisoning and death. The fungicides in the soil increase the number of harmful bacteria and decrease the population of useful types. For example, application of 4,6-dinitro-orthocresol and captain prevent nodule bacteria from initiating symbiotic nitrogen fixing process. The best fungicide available today is a derivative of beta-methoxyacrylic acid. Now, herbicide, these are the chemicals used to control weeds. Some common weeds killers used earlier were inorganic compounds, namely sodium chlorate and sodium arsenide. However, their use has been restricted as they are toxic to mammals. These days, organic herbicides such as triazines are widely used. Now, soil erosion. The topsoil is the most important as all agricultural activities depend on it. It is the vital component since all the nutrients required by plant are present here. At time of it is so happen that the topsoil is dissipated. At times, it is so happen that the topsoil is dissipated by water or wind. The situation is termed soil erosion. Such soil becomes unsuitable for vegetation or agricultural production. Soil erosion is a natural process. It is caused by flow of water over the fields and by wind. The following factor influence the rate of soil erosion: deforestation and loss of vegetation, cultivation on slopes of mountains, soils with low organic content. Roots of grasses are an excellent binding materials like keep the soil impact. Overgrazing, overcropping, and improper tilling accelerates soil erosion. Now, radioactive pollutants. The radioactive waste are produced in nuclear reactors, laboratories, and hospitals. Nuclear explosions also produce a large number of radioactive waste. Dumping of nuclear waste is the biggest problem from the soil. Radioactive substance pass on the human beings and animal in the form of food. The radioactive substance emits rays which are extremely harmful to human and animal cells. The other cause for the soil pollution is acid rain. Acid rain disturbs the fertility of the soil. The activity of symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria present in the nodules of leguminous family is inhibited. The acid rain makes the soil acidic. This adversely affect the plant and animals. The acid rain contains hydrogen sulfate and nitrate ions which leach the nutrients from the soil. Acid rain is responsible for damaging forest and other vegetations. Now, control of soil pollution. How to control the soil pollution? The following steps have been suggested to control the soil pollution. First, use of chemical fertilizer can be reduced by applying biofertilizers and manners. Biological methods of pest control can also reduce the use of pesticides and thereby minimize soil pollution. Second method, recycling and recovery of material appear to be a reasonable solution for reducing soil pollution. Materials such as paper, glass, and some kinds of plastic can be recycled. This would decrease the value of refuse and help in the conservation of natural resources. For example, recovery of 1 ton of paper can serve 17 trees. Third method, control of land loss can be attempted through restoring forest and grass cover to check soil erosion and floods. Crop rotation or mixed cropping can improve the fertility of the land. Fourth point is proper method should be adopted for the disposal of solid waste. The simplest and most widely used technique of solid waste management is to bury the waste in locations situated away from residential area. While adopting this practice, environmental and aesthetic consideration must be taken into consideration before selecting the dumping sites. Acidic and alkaline waste should be first neutralized. The insoluble materials, if biodegradable, should be allowed to degrade under controlled condition before their disposal. Incineration of waste is expensive and leaves a huge residue and add to air pollution. Pyrolysis is a process of combustion in absence of oxygen or material burnt under controlled atmosphere of oxygen is an alternative incineration. The gas and liquid thus obtained can be used as a fuel. Pyrolysis of carbonous waste like firewood, coconut palm waste, corn cobs, cashew shell, rice husk, paddy straw, and sawdust yield charcoal along with products like tar, methyl alcohol, acetic acid, acetone, and flue gas. Dung should be used to produce global dung should be used to produce gobar gas and good manner through gobar gas plant. Now, strategies to control environmental pollution. Environmental pollution affect human beings, animals, plants as well materials. It does not only slow down growth of plants or bring disease to human beings and animals, but can cause havoc. Every individual should be aware about dangers of environmental pollution and must try to minimize them by proper and scientific planning. If we do not act now, it is certain that not only this generation but the generation to come which suffers immeasurably. Following are some suggestions which can help minimize pollution. Following are some suggestions which can help minimize pollution. First, population control is the foremost thing. Uncontrolled growth of population is the major threat to environment. Second, vegetation checks pollution. Forest should be maintained properly. Their area should be increased. Green belts in cities, especially in industrial ones, should be developed. Non-conventional methods of producing energy should be developed. The use of fossil fuel should be reduced as far as possible. Proper sewage disposal plant and recovery of sewage water for various industrial and domestic purpose should be established. Domestic garbage should be profitably utilized. Gobar gas plants in rural areas should be installed. Now, manners and biofertilizer should be used in place of chemical fertilizer. To reduce the volume of refuse and recycling process should be developed. All types of nuclear tests must be stopped. The chimneys of industries should be placed at greater heights. These should be fitted with filters. The industrial waste must be first treated to remove the hazardous materials before discharge. There should be strict laws of prevent pollution. Heavy fines should be imposed on defaulters. There are two steps of waste which are causing environmental pollution. Household waste, which includes mainly sewage and municipal garbage. The second, industrial waste, which include inorganic and organic suspended particles and inorganic and organic soluble matters. Some of them may be toxic in nature. The proper disposal of these waste can save the environment from pollution. Some of the methods which are usually employed for the disposal of these waste are given here. First is recycling. This is the simplest method for the waste disposal as the number of waste material can be used as raw materials to manufacture of useful products again. Example of recycling by industry are the collection and recycling of glass, the use of scrap metal in the manufacture of steel, the recovery of energy from burning combustible waste. Due to recent developments, cloths will be made from recycled plastic waste. The use of waste paper, thus recycling saves the cost of raw materials and converts waste into wealth. Now, sewage treatment. The treatment of sewage involve the following stage. First stage involves the removal of large solid particles. This is done by mechanical process consisting of screening and sedimentation. The waste is filtered through different types of screens. The solids that are removed are disposed of in landfill cities, sites. It is then allowed to flow into sedimentation tanks. This step allows the removal of solid that settle down called sludge. This also allows the removal of grease which floats on the surface and can be skimmed off. The next stage involves the biological oxidation of organic content of waste material by microorganisms followed by filtration. The fourth stage, in the final stage, the some specialized physical and chemical processes are applied to remove the specific pollutants which are still present in order to improve the quality of wastewater. The process used are chemical removal of phosphate, coagulation, treatment with activated charcoal, disinfection by chlorine, reverse osmosis filtration, etc. Sludge is produced during above operation. It is dried and they may be incinerated, digested for dumped. Now, what is incineration? It converts organic matter into CO2, H2O. It is used to destroy household waste, chemical waste, and biological waste. A high temperature, usually above 1273 Kelvin, and a plentiful oxygen supply is required. Exhaust gases must be filtered. The process leaves ash behind, which is disposed of in landfill. The main disadvantage of this process is that it causes air pollution. Now, digestion. The sewage slug can undergoes aerobic digestion when microorganisms degrade waste to absence of oxygen. This process can also be applied to degrade a variety of toxic organic compounds. The overall process is the conversion of the organic materials into carbon dioxide and methane. Now, methane may be used as a fuel. The last part is dumping. Dumping of the sewage uh, slug into sea has been very common. However, dumping of the slug into land is increasing nowadays. This is because it contains compounds of nitrogen as phosphorus, which act as fertilizers for the soil. Now, this is now that's all for today. आज की क्लास में हमने दो पॉल्यूशन, वाटर पॉल्यूशन और सॉइल पॉल्यूशन पे डिस्कस किया। तो इस तरह से ये जो मेन टॉपिक थे तुम्हारे चैप्टर के वो कंप्लीट हुए। हालांकि अभी हम 2-3 क्लास और लेंगे जिसमें कि रेडियो एक्टिव पॉल्यूशन और नॉइस पॉल्यूशन पे हम डिस्कस करेंगे।